My name's Shane Baum from Leisure Society. Leisure Society is a beautiful Japanese-made high-end brand made from 12, 18, and 24 karat gold-plated titanium. I started in the business as a designer, working for LVMH and Louis Vuitton. Also working with Louis Vuitton, I met Marc Jacobs. So I started working for his company as well.
And how did you connect with him originally?
Originally, I was designing a collection called Paul Frank. And Mark went in and said, this is actually a funny side story. I guess Marc Jacobs has seen some of the Paul Frank frames and goes, that stuff's really like fresh, you know, like find out who's doing it. So I was at a trade show in Paris, and this whole group of people come in the booth and they're like asking all these questions, and they're like, oh, you know, we're from LVMH and we're looking for a designer for Louis Vuitton, and you know, Mark really likes the stuff that you're doing, and they go, would you be interested in, you know, working for Louis Vuitton and Marc Jacobs? And I kind of deadpanned it. I'm like, I don't know, I'm just so busy right now. I don't know when I can fit it in my schedule. And my partner looked at me and was like, what are you doing? He goes, I go, I don't know. I heard you can't be too available in couture. So yeah, that led into some mentors of mine, specifically Larry Light from All the Peoples and Bill Barton from Barton Carrera, and they encouraged me to make my own line. Leisure Society was originally a social group, and given the fact that I'm from a smaller town in the Midwest, a town of 2,500 in Iowa, called Belmont, I had I used to put out these itineraries that was inviting my friends out to do fancy things. So we go for a day at the horse races, you know, and so we take a limousine and we go to breakfast at the Four Seasons, and we do all these fancy things, and I'm like, shit, I'm from a small town. I'm not that fancy, so I go, it doesn't feel good coming from me. So on the top of the invitation, I wrote, by order of the Royal and Ancient Leisure Society. And Leisure Society, therefore, was a social club. When my mentors told me to do my own line, I was trying to think what to name it, and I thought putting my own name on it felt a little unusual, so I just thought I'll name it Leisure Society after our social group.
That's such a great concept, and it almost it conjures like this lifestyle concept where it's almost a feeling.
Well, it's very much like being from the Midwest. You know, life's very much about time that you can spend on the weekends with your family and friends, and I think it's just an important part of life. So for me, the brand is an extension of my life, spending time with family and friends in intimate moments, and trying to remind yourself to take a vacation, to relax a little bit. We can all get caught up in our daily jobs, and social media and email and all these things coming at you can get really overwhelming. So the mantra behind our brand has always been, you know, like, go off the grid, get unplugged, you know, go fishing, you know, go in the mountains, you know, do something healthy and recharge. And that's at the essence of the brand.
And now, are you able to practice what you preach? Are you able to? I know this is very intense work.
Well, I'll tell you, I get a lot of criticism that I never work, and I even had to tell my social media team, I'm like, you guys, I am not fly fishing in Belize today, like it says on the social media. I got things on deadline, and people think I'm fishing. You know, like that was 2 weeks ago. I was on that trip. And then we also, I mean, we do spend a lot of time mixing business with pleasure. For example, we went to the south of France last year, and we had 3 trunk shows. We had a great improvement in business down there. We have some great trading partners in that part of the world. So anytime that we can do some work and have a little fun on the side, you know, that's living.
And the extended family.
Of course.
So you decided to launch your own line, and how's it going? When did you first
It's going incredible. I mean, we're in we just finished our 4th year now. You know, we were disruptive in the marketplace a bit, because I do have a belief that it's unusual when a woman walks the red carpet in a $4,000 hand-beaded gown, a $14,000 hand-beaded gown, $4,000 on her shoes, and $1 million worth of jewelry. And for some reason, the eyewear industry has led us to believe that $300 on your face, $400 on your face is expensive when somebody has $1 million here. And so I always thought if you made eyewear like jewelry, if you gave somebody some design attributes and some quality of ingredients that would actually warrant a higher price point, that it would be believable and it would be saleable to the consumer. So it was an interesting concept in the beginning, but like I said, everything that we do is 12, 18, 24 karat gold-plated titanium, and we have heirloom beliefs. You know, the designing something and making something once, the intention of it lasting forever, and that translates very much to the consumer. If they look at our product, which is very durable and made with beautiful, expensive materials, you're like, look, these are the frames that your grandchildren are going to fight over when you pass away. And making that kind of investment doesn't seem so crazy because you're not buying a brand, a concept, or anything else. You're buying a beautiful piece of jewelry.
And do you have an ideal client, customer, patient that that you design specifically for, or when you have these designs in your head, who are you thinking about most?
No, we always do. I mean, we have tons of friends and family that come by the warehouse, and I have a retail store as well. So a lot of times somebody comes in and you're like, geez, that person has a smaller eye size and wants, just a very, safe shape and the kind of frame that you would wear to sunglasses you'd wear to get a cup of coffee or something very simple. And you're like, we don't have that. And so you sit down the next season, and we do listen to opticians very much. I mean, we'll be in stores and they're like, gosh, you guys, this frame is awesome, but you need it in a larger eye size. And you're like, well, what would that eye size be? And they're like, it should be a 51. I'm like, would the bridge be okay? And opticians are such experts on fitting people, and so making sure that you keep that connection with the optician and listening to their feedback. And when we sit at our design boards, we're like, hey, here's our crazy ideas, and here's what everybody wants. And somewhere in between is a great collection.
And do you have a design process for your own personal self? Do you like to design in the morning? Are you the type that has an epiphany in the middle of the night, or is it you?
No, it's very much an organic process, and it's usually in the afternoons. And we put together Pinterest boards, with the various design team, and we allow our sales reps to give us input and everything like that. And so we start going through the design process. It's really eclectic, and it's funny because when we talk about eye sizes and shapes and everything else, we don't do that very early in the process. I always call it like the fantasy months in the beginning, which is like, let's make this crazy concept, or we have a lot of different things, and then you have to get real because you're going to place the POs and you got to make you have to stay in business. And so you have that realism of taking your dream and then deciding, like, can I sell this? How well received is it going to be? And can we continue to grow the company based on our dream?
So we have a question.
Sure.
How many opticals in the U.S. carry your frames, and how exclusive are they?
We sell the most exclusive retailers on the planet. We sell about 75 domestically and about 125 in Europe. So 200 globally.
And are you showing specific products at Vision Expo East this year?
Yeah, of course. We're launching a new collection called En Plein Soleil. And it's very interesting. There was a lady at my polo club who said, oh, you have to watch this movie called En Plein Soleil. It's with Alain Delon from 1964. It's the original Talented Mr. Ripley. And so I loved the name, and we watched the movie, and we were going to model our photo shoot after it. But then if you remember the Talented Mr. Ripley, it's a very dark story. I mean, like, he kills his best friend. You're like, oh God, like, where is this going to go? Then he kills the other friend, and so I just go, we can't model our campaign after that, but I love the name. And then, as I said before, when we worked with some opticians in the south of France, we had such a great time there, and we really listened to them too. They go, we said, what do we need to be bigger in your market? They go, we need really special product and, exclusively, made, so the people that are tourists or looking for something special can be taken care of. So we came back, we created the En Plein Soleil collection. We modeled it after the south of France. I had a buddy with a big yacht, and he allowed us to use the yachts. We took the yacht to Catalina Island, and we modeled it after the south of France. We called it En Plein Soleil, and we created a limited edition collection that is 50 frames only, all numbered 1 through 50, and
makes sense.
So we're selling them out in the next 3 days.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So we have a couple more questions.
Sure.
One of them is asking if we can see some of the new pieces.
Of course.
And then another asked, are all the frames more for upscale person, or does the line cater to more of a casual person as well?
I'd say that our acetates are more relaxed, and so we the opening price point, the wholesale price point on our acetate frames start at $150. Everything's handmade in Japan. The gold-plated titanium, frames go up to $1,200. So I'd say that they're more formal, and Jennifer Lawrence, for example, wears our frames. And she wear them more to a red carpet event. Jamie Foxx wears our frames. He wears the 24 karat gold-plated titanium with ruthenium insets, which is a very high-end feel. So I would say, you know, we're known a little bit more as a luxury company, a frame that you would wear to a wedding or, you know, kind of a bigger day out. But our acetate frames, you know, you can wear them to Starbucks.
And any products you'd like to?
Sure. Let me show you.
And I know you're really busy.
You're good. You're fine.
So the first frame I'll show you here is called the St. Jean. It's a cute little cat eye. This is in 24 karat gold-plated titanium. Some beautiful filigree on the top. The one thing you'll notice about all of our frames is they have more three-dimensional detail on the top, and the temples have spring hinges on the inside. This is all surgical grade stainless steel. It's all made from block titanium. The production capacity is only 4 per day. They're also with titanium nose pads. These lenses are CR39 polarized with a 12-layer anti-reflective coating. They also have a diamond cast scratch resistance on the outside, and yeah, they're the best of the best lenses. And this all comes in a leather case.
And then we have another question. What average price do they retail at?
The average retail price is about $700.
Yeah.
This frame is the Rudy. It's in 12 karat gold-plated titanium. It was named after a fashion designer from Austria named Rudi Gernot. He was the inventor of the designer of the monokini, which Borat wore in that crazy movie.
Yeah, I have it with
It's a topless bikini. Next I will show you the Monte Carlo. And this is a limited edition. This is also 12 karat gold-plated titanium. The enamel insets on the inside. And again, only 50 pieces of these in the world.
How do you decide
And here's all the other-
lucky 50 people who get them?
Well, I mean, first come, first serve. We do have waiting lists for some models that we have in production right now.
Oh, they're beautiful.
Thank you. And last but not least, I will show you Emplean Soleil. And these lenses are also plated with gold. So these are some of our flashiest pieces, but this is a little over the top.
They're gorgeous.
But yeah, we also make some very restrained frames. These are not for Starbucks.
So when you get this in your hand, who's the first person you show?
Oh, I always show my creative director because we worked on it together. And then I show the staff. If I'm really excited, I just wear them. The prototypes are always not made in titanium, so they're really heavy. So you wear them anyway, you end up with dents on your nose.
That must be a fun package to get.
Oh, it's so exciting. I mean, when you just, you make a drawing, and the one thing I say, when I say filigree on top, and we have the magnifying glass over there, because if you look at the details, I've designed for a lot of companies, and when you make a basic Wayfarer type frame, I can make 6 of those drawings a day, but with the amount of detail that we're putting into these frames, some of the designs have over 3,000 lines. It can take 3 weeks just to do the detail work on the top.